Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Brute's answer to Illusionist for the longest time has been Scabskin Leathers. Let's roll Scabskin Leathers as many times as we can, try to gain as many action points and clear as many auras as possible, and throw damage when we can. Kayo versus Enigma may be the exception to this rule. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to roll Scabskins as KO to win the game, but a lot of these ward auras you don't need to roll against. You just need go again so that you can apply enough pressure to keep the board clean and then clear Spectra auras when you can. With that in mind, it is very possible to let a Haze Bending or a Shimmers of Silver sit on the board too long. Because if Enigma is able to protect their board and kind of add and just grow the board slowly and kind of play Protect the Queen, KO can fall behind quickly and not be able to catch up. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoy the match. We're playing against Enigma and we're going first. So I think what we're going to do is discard the Agile Windup and we're just going to pass. I feel pretty comfortable about being able to make an agility and a might here, and we're just going to pass. If our opponent does try to flash something into play, I'll throw the Bear Fangs at them because it being for 8 means it'll be very difficult for them to block this. Even if they have, like, if they pitch a card and then put another card into play, they'll have 2 cards in, so a breakpoint of 8 will be very difficult for them to block. Man, this hand's awesome. We're probably just saying no blocks to the moon here and just trying to go ham on our turn. Oh no, I lost in thought. Alright, well, let's see. I get to choose an attack action, which means they'll probably take the Wild Ride. Although the Wild Ride is like not super relevant here because I already have an agility from last turn, so... No, they take the blue? Okay, I mean, that's fair. Flash in a Waning Vengeance. Considering the way my hand is set up, I don't really think we're safe to block and then just attack them for 4 with the claw. I think we need to actually play the Bloodrush and try to push damage here. Hopefully we can try to set up and clear their board. If we draw into a blue, we're in a pretty decent spot. If we don't, it's looking pretty rough. So this is exactly what I was afraid of. So we're going to throw the Bear Fangs, pitching the Command and Conquer. Hopefully we draw and discard into a blue or a yellow so that I can throw the claw after this as well. If we are left with a red, then we're just going to end up arsenaling it. Okay, so this is 11 go again, and then we get to throw the claw for 5 more after this, which means hopefully we get to clear the Waning Vengeance and we get to clear the Spectral Shield after this. Also, it means we have the availability to use Vambrace here, which it did not look like we were going to be able to do considering the composition of our hand and how that worked out, but I think this was pretty okay for us because this means they prevent 2 damage. Okay, so they're going to prevent 5 and take 6, go to 34 and make 2 Spectral Shields. Yep, seems pretty good. And then we will throw the Mandible Claw here. Mandible Claw for 5 because we drew into the blue is a very solid play. If they decide to just block with the Astral Etchings, they will lose the Spectral Shields. And we're now back at square 0, except I have a Might and a potential Arsenal card. Oh wow, what a rip. That is such a good draw. That is not a good draw. That's tough. So let's use Tunic and pitch the Pack Hunt. Ooh, Beast Within could be pretty good. Drawing into a blue is exactly what we wanted to see, to be honest. So now we have the ability to go... We could go 5 draw card. Or I'm sorry, 5 go again off the E-Strike. Like, I want to be able to kill the Shimmers of Silver here just to keep the board clear, but I think setting... Like, we're also in a position where we can push a lot of damage, right? Let's just attack them for 5. We'll put the Swing Big on the bottom and name go again. We have a pretty decent pitch stack. Few reds, couple blues here and there. Like, it's looking like a pretty good turn all the way around. And then I get to just kill the Shimmers of Silver, which is exactly where I want to be. I'm keeping their board clear, and I'm setting up go again cards in my arsenal, which is precisely where I want to be. It's perfect. And then we're going to pitch the Reckless Swing so that we're taking... The only way that we could actually lose go again here would be if we lost it from the top card of our deck, which is a possibility. Like, that is something that could happen. So this is 7 go again, and we set up a new might for the following turn, which is great. There's no reason to activate Vambrace here because like we already have there's nothing in play that we want to get off the board. I'm going to pitch the Sin Packing to throw this, and then I will throw the Clash of Might at them for 6, pitching the Agility, because I think the Agility gives us a better look. I think the Agility gives us a better look later, like if we get to that second cycle part of the game, which I hope we don't. But if we do, then the Agility gives us a better look. All right, so we're up 13 points. They activate Enigma on their turn. They have a Chi and an unknown card in their hand. So we're going to go Agility, Reckless Swing, then the Sin Packing. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty incentivized just to take this, I think. The Astral Etchings is pretty good. Lets them push another point of damage there off the blue Astral Etchings. Would have been insane if it was red. They make another Spectral Shield, play Shimmers of Silver, and pass. Okay. So let's go Bloodrush Bellow. I mean, wow, discarding the Beast Within. So lucky. I'm so good at this game. I'm kidding. Let's attack them for 5. So I think this is going to be a turn where we're probably not going to use the Vambrace this turn, and we're also probably not going to target the... We're also probably not going to target the Shimmers this turn. We're going to pitch the Wild Ride to attack them. And this is 8 Dominite. And we draw and discard a yellow Wild Ride. They play red Unmovable. Take 1. And then we're going to play another red Dominate card. So this is just 8 more. Our Bloodrush was, what, a 1 for 6 right here. A lot of value from the Bloodrush this turn. And if we'd had Tunic up, we would have been able to push 1 more point with the Vambrace. So we'll go Wild Ride, Smash, and then the Beast Within. So I can go 5, go again at them, hit the Shimmers of Silver, or I can go 5, go again at them, putting the Sin Packing on the bottom, and then throw the Command and Conquer at them and leave the Shimmers on the board. I think I would rather kill the Shimmers this turn. Like, we're up quite a few points. We're in a good spot where we have Vambrace and Tunic on the board. I don't think there's a reason to really like panic or, you know, start to like maybe think, oh, we should be closing the game out here. Let's clear the board. Let's play it safe. Taking Shimmers off the board sets up very well for us. And we're just going to discard this to make a Might and an Agility for next turn, and then pass to our opponent knowing that we have Tunic up and we have 1 copy of Bloodrush left in our deck somewhere. Okay. Take our blue probably, if I had to guess. Well, we have Tunic, so maybe they're less inclined to take our blue. I am intrigued to see this card being played in their list. Like, I'm not going to say it's just wrong, because it's a cool card and it has a lot of great value, but it feels a little lackluster compared to other things. I don't know. I'd be curious to know what they cut for this card. Like, it's pretty spicy to see a Lost in Thought. And our opponent just said they're thinking. We're going to put no problem here. Well, I'm trying to. If my thing will ever load. I was like, maybe I'm lagging. I don't know. I don't know why they said they were thinking they hadn't even seen my card yet. But anyway, regardless. They could take the Roughshod here as it's my only blue. Or they can take the... you're either taking the Roughshod or you're taking the... so the Bear Fangs or the Command and Conquer depends on what they have in their hand. The ability to go Command and Conquer into Claw is very strong. If you take the Bear Fangs, my turn is pitch Sin Packing for Command and Conquer at them for 7 go again into the Mandible Claw, pitching the Roughshod. If you take the Roughshod, my hand is probably just Command and Conquer for 7 and then Arsenal the Bear Fangs. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, what they decide to take here will kind of dictate what we're doing. Yeah, we don't have an Arsenal, so I don't really care about this. So this seems fine. So I'm going to pitch the Roughshod because they know my hand. And the cool thing about this is that if they decide to like try and like flash something in and use Uphold Tradition as a way to prevent one to protect their arsenal, then I have Vambrace on my side. So like Vambrace is kind of just always sitting there hanging out against Enigma, which I really like. I think Vambrace offers a lot of value into Enigma. Going into Nat season. I don't know. It's also interesting because we have like a Battle Hardened this weekend in Montreal, and we have a Battle Hardened this weekend coming up this weekend inside of in Vegas as well. And that's like, it's like we're the weekend before Nats. That's when I'm recording this. And so I don't know. It's interesting because like those events will tell us a lot about what we're looking at, I think. So they do protect their arsenal. I'm debating if I want to use Tunic to throw Claw here and Arsenal this. I think we're going to because, like, this is... Well, no, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I just want to pitch this because the Ponder's probably going to draw me a card. So I think that's a... This is a better play. I mean, technically, I could have used Tunic efficiently here and just, like, put it in. And then the Ponder... I could have used the Tunic to throw the Claw, and then the Ponder would have popped, and if I draw a good red card, I can Arsenal it, and if I don't, I have the Sin Packing to Arsenal. Like, if I draw, like, a really weird blue, like, this is a blue that I really don't want to Arsenal, so I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to skip my Arsenal step here. And I actually get rewarded for keeping my Arsenal in my hand, not drawing into a great card right there, so we get, like, immediately rewarded for our decision, which is pretty cool. How many Command and Conquers have they played? 2? We've seen 2 so far, so there's 1 more. I could just play the Bloodrush and just try to go crazy, but I don't really think that this hand, like, goes crazy with Bloodrush. So what I'm thinking is E-Strike for 7, putting the yellow Agile Windup on the bottom, and then we discard the blue Agile Windup is what I'm thinking. It's probably better. Yeah, the agility is really solid. So we're going to put this one on the bottom, and we're going to name Buff Power. Maybe I should name Go Again so that I can leave up my action point. The 2 points might be better served as an action point here, so that I can... Might be better served as an action point here so that I can kind of protect the board a little bit and try to keep it clear, but... I don't know. Pushing damage is always really solid because we're going... This is our last Bloodrush. Okay, they just give an unmovable. I mean, that's fine. They're on a like heavy defensive version of the deck, which I understand because the Enigma list that I have put together is like very defensive, but this is like they're on unmovables too. Like they're on red unmovables, which is like hyper defensive. So there's not a huge chance that they can have massive damage output here, and with our hand, we have a great chance for damage output here. They just pass. Have to say I'm confused by that. Keeping the runner is awesome. Like having one of the runners in my hand is just so good. So this is literally just 9 create and agility. There's so much value in this play for us. 9 and we get to cycle and agility. This is the kind of hands that I see and I'm like, I just don't know how illusionists are supposed to keep up with this kind of stuff. I'm also intrigued that my opponent's playing Trom over playing the new instant speed one that you can play for 1 resource. I know it's a no block, but I like the idea of being able to play it off of Tunic. I think there's a lot of value in that. So we pitch Reckless Swing to come in for 5 go again, and then we get to throw the Riled Up because we have discarded a 6 for 8 at the end of the chain. So like this, it's like this is an insane amount of damage that we're pushing. And then Riled Up for 8. The value. And we have an agility and a might for next turn, which means we're already in a good direction for what we're looking for. Oh my gosh, drawing into another runner. Value Town, population us. So this is 7 go again, cycling another agility. They block 6, take 1, go to 3, and then we're going to throw the swing big here. And my opponent just concedes. Well, they had a no block in their hand, so that makes sense. That game felt like a commanding performance from our KO deck. This game started about as well as it could for me, as I was able to discard an Agile Windup to create an agility and a might on turn 0. Still maintaining my action point, my opponent wasn't able to put anything into play on turn 0, because if they would have only have had 2 cards in hand, and I would have thrown the Bear Fangs to push damage and kill their ward that they put into play. Then I also drew into a Bloodrush Bellow, and after my opponent only put a Waning Vengeance into play, I knew we were starting the game off on the right foot. In the first 5 turns of the game, I was able to play 2 copies of Bloodrush Bellow and put my opponent all the way down to 12, and then just keep applying pressure. This is definitely a winning recipe for playing into Enigma, as you want them on the back foot and not able to establish a permanent board. Towards the last 2 or 3 turns of the game, I was able to string agilities and runners together, which is exactly why we run that card. Now, runner definitely has its downside, as sometimes it's just a 2 for 6 that blocks 3, but when you're able to keep the go again going, runner is at its peak. Since I've recorded this game, I've actually ended up cutting Vambrace from my list because I don't think that it's necessary. I actually believe that you're able to lean into Scabs and Gambler's Gloves into Enigma to bail you out of a bad situation, so I've cut Vambrace so that I can run Gambler's Gloves into both Prism and Enigma. Guys, if you see anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.